Hi man, peace. It's Bronzebird here with another video. So you're gonna find this crazy, ladies and gentlemen. And if you haven't thought there's been some crazy inventions in this world before this, I don't know what else to tell you. Now, I've been meaning to do this for a while. I've been meaning to get this off of my logs of entertaining content that I bring to you guys, but I think one of the things that we need to explore as we go more past 2025 is that they're going to be having these virtual reality games, these virtual reality headsets that's already out there. I'm pretty sure some of you might have watched on YouTube how they have this whole entire avatar type of game segments, all these different things in which someone just needs a virtual headset to be able to interact and do everything off of there and play games for like 24 hours or stuff like that with their headset on, just completely on all day. In which I've seen a lady partake in this practice, in which she said after the fact that she started to feel woozy and started to feel nauseous a little bit from, being on a VR headset all day. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I can understand that, us as individuals, we're on our laptops a lot, we're on our phones a lot, blue light exposure and all these different things, but VR headset takes it to another level. A, a gaming system that you're putting on your head, and it's going to affect the health of your brain. Might so, might not be. Your eyes and anything that's on your face and on your head. So, why do I make this video? There is a guy who wants to come out with a game through a VR headset that if you lose the game, you die in real life. No kidding. This is actually a real game they're planning on putting out to the public. I don't know what moron would want to buy this game. I don't know what moron would want to take it upon himself to buy something like this. And ultimately, you know, this might cause for a lot of lawsuits if you're telling me, but maybe they're not even thinking like that. Maybe you have people out there that are little daredevils who decide to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Or if they are playing the game, they want to be a daredevil enough where they would take off the VR headset right before they get killed. Just funny how things go. So I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. And before I begin, like and subscribe. Fair use.
There you go. The inventor of the Oculus Rift says he's invented a new VR headset that will blow your mind, like literally. Palmer Luckey, one of the original founders of VR, the Oculus VR, has made a custom headset that he claims will kill a player if they die in a video game.
This is what you like. All billionaires are the worst.
I know. This is wild. Luckey described the headset on his blog, which he says is based on an anime called Sword Art Online. In that series, players are trapped in a giant immersive VR combat sim where if they die in the game, it will kill them for real, given that they are laced into what's called a nerve gear tech. In Lucky's version of the concept, his VR headset is laced with charges that will explode, destroying the brain of the user if they trigger an appropriate game over screen. Lucky says, the good news is we are halfway to making a true nerve gear. Bad news, though, is that so far he's only figured out the half that kills you. He says the perfect VR half of the equation is still many years out. Now, of course, no one is actually playing games on the deadly VR set. Lucky hasn't even tried it on himself.
Oh, yeah.
He describes it as more of a piece of office art and claims it's the only VR headset in existence that can kill the user. So that's what we got looking forward to in the world of VR, I guess.
Couple questions for you, Mr. Bob.
Okay, we'll pray.
What makes something office art versus just art?
I don't know.
What is it about his office where they have potentially deadly art as opposed to in some kind of crazy person's dungeon?
Yeah, you're. Well, some people their dungeon is their office. I would argue, but
That's fair.
I don't know how you would
shame.
differentiate. Maybe it's just to threaten subordinates or coworkers.
Or like
knowing
it's,
that
like, it's like the great when you go hunting and you're like, oh, the greatest game of all is human being.
But what's really upsetting about this? Nobody on this program has ever said, do you not understand the impending lawsuits that could happen from an idiot that decides to go ahead and get a game like this. And the fact of the matter, this is actually something in practice they think is actually cool when it comes to technological advances. It's funny to me. I don't get it.
Or whatever.
Oh,
Like
gosh.
that kind of
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yes, exactly. So when you invite all your rich friends over, you could be like, well, I got something very new here and very, very different if you want to try this out. Because these people have so much money, they're just so bored with their lives.
Yeah.
I could see that being a thing there.
So
Wasn't that
I mean, I thought the Ouija board was bad, but goddamn, this is worse than this shit.
a show with Daniel Rat? No, what was that show? That never mind.
second reference to him today.
About like
Yeah.
hunting, about hunting humans.
Humans.
Yeah,
There was an
movie,
episode of Criminal
I
Minds. I
think,
think there was an
yeah.
episode of Criminal Minds that said that.
Exactly.
They
When
would
he
do that a
was
lot.
movies.
The movie that was a couple years ago with the woman from Glow.
Alison Brie.
No, the blonde one, the tall one.
I don't remember her name.
Well, anyway, there's a movie that's all about like a bunch of like woke people who go
Wrecked.
to somewhere like
called
in the
Wrecked.
South and they
Oh,
like
on
hunt
CBS.
people.
Yeah, I think it's just
Or
like
something.
it's a yeah,
It's a
a
real
trope.
phase.
It's such a real question
yeah,
I have for you though, to go back to what we were talking about earlier. So of course Palmer Luckey is the guy who created this, right? Created Oculus, sold it to Facebook famously for buku bucks. So the man, worth.
And more than likely because it's gonna go along with the metaverse. So it was like, you know what, let me team up with Facebook because I know that they're gonna be able to let me put on with this. And, probably more than likely he would go along with it. But I think more than likely the reason why he did it is because it's teaming up with the metaverse to make sure that you start to create the fictional world from the real world. You become so entrenched in that game, you gotta beat it, you gotta beat it. And if you don't beat it, it gives you that overwhelming passion to beat it because you actually don't want to die. Now, my question is it going to be one of those technologies that is keeping you, the headset has you locked into the point you can't take it off until you pause the game or you beat a level in the game? Like, that's the question in it because it could come with a lot of drawbacks. And then, like I said, it can be a lot of impending lawsuits if one is not paying attention. I mean, well, not even if they're paying attention. Just the fact of the matter, impending lawsuits is going to be on there. But then again, how could it be lawsuits if the guys, if if they already told you we are not responsible for what happens to you? You understand what I'm saying? And you're going to be totally responsible if your friend or family member you give that to decides to play the game and they wind up dying from this game, which seems as if it's going to be this extreme brain aneurysm that's going to come about if the player loses the game to the point it fries them. I mean, what type of shit is this?
Many multiple million, hundreds of million, maybe billions of dollars.
Mm.
Must it just be so easy for him to meet women that he has to try to make something like this that makes it impossible for anyone to want to trust him or come near him?
Well, here's
Just a
the interesting
theoretical
thing is that since he sold Oculus, he actually is now employed by the U.S. Military. So he's probably made stuff like this before.
If he's employed by the U.S. military, that's because they probably have special weapons and special stuff to fight against the war to beat their opponents. It's more than likely that, because if he's been hired from the U.S. military, that tells you something. Why would they allow someone who's been hired from the U.S. military to create a game that can cause an extreme brain aneurysm on a regular human being who just wants to be entertained for hours on end or days on end if they play it that much? Something's a little fishy about that, if you ask me.
Human destroying technologies.
Wow.
You
So.
look like you would also work in this field today.
Hey, I'm not saying I'm an investor. I didn't say I donated to the Kickstarter, but no, I didn't.
But you do look like an assassin in a way, or like
a ski chalet.
yeah,
The
yeah.
guy who's at the ski chalet who's definitely there to not do the black diamond. It's to just
The what do you call the sticks? They double as like
Poles?
rifles.
yeah, big ski.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can say to that is, why the fuck are you people smiling? That's the thing that gets on my nerves watching this video. Why are y'all smiling? What is this like? Oh, it's a game that could kill you. Yeah. Like, what are y'all smiling about? It's something you have to really think about, because I know it would be a lot of morons out there that would buy this game because they have this type of effect. They want to be daredevils, not even realizing the fact of the matter, like, you really want to get a game that kills you. And of course, they're going to do it for the likes and how controversial it is, but they have to understand the actual effect. in which they know that, but there's a lot of people that want to kick it up a notch and be like, just play this game, or they'll set somebody up. It'd be crazy. It'd be crazy. I don't imagine this going well. But let me see the rest of this article real quickly. This is what they have here, in which they say, going back to what the video was talking about, the inventor of the Oculus Rift says he has created a VR headset that will blow people's minds literally. Palmer Luckey has built a custom VR headset he claims will kill the user in real life if they die in the video game. The device is based on the popular anime and novel series Sword Art Online. In that series, players are trapped in an immersive VR combat simulator where if they are killed in the game, they die in the real world. For Lucky's version of the concept, his custom built VR headset is rigged with charges that would explode if the user triggers an appropriate game over screen, effectively destroying their brain. The inventor said while he has figured out how to make the headset kill the user, solving the perfect VR half of the equation is still many years out. Of course, the deadly device is not available for sale. At this point, it is just a piece of office art, a thought-provoking reminder of unexplored avenues in game design. Lucky said, it is also, as far as I know, the first nonfiction example of a VR device that can actually kill the user. It won't be the last. So that tells me that they're probably going to come out with more technology like this, and it's going to be completely normal to the general public. Like, we're really going to be living in the movie Idiocracy. The creator said he wants to keep tinkering with the technology, mentioning the idea of an anti-tampering feature that would prevent the headset from being removed or destroyed once it is placed on the user's head. Lucky said he has not tried on the headset himself. Yeah, because he's not stupid. This can go into the whole entire mindset, I think, of in which uh, they have the whole entire thing where never get high of your own supply. It's always something I think about when things like this happen, when they're trying to come up with these controversial technologies. But look at what it said in something I mentioned earlier in this video. Look at what it said. It says, mentioning the idea of an anti-tampering feature that would prevent the headset from being removed or destroyed once it is placed on the user's head. And why is that? You see, it's not, funny thing about this is what I was thinking the whole entire time when I looked into this whole entire VR headset thing. That's what they want. This is like pure like legal torture for this to be on the news, and no one on that segment gave any pushback. I'm just really honestly interested to see how far it's going to go, because there's going to be at least one dummy that's going to go ahead and buy this game. And then the thing about it is that of course they're going to put warning labels on it. They're going to say we are not responsible for the active effects or something like that. Some legal contract that they're going to spruce up in order to ensure that the person legally bought it, the person wanted to buy it, they are responsible for their own actions. To me, I tell y'all this. I don't like rocking with the metaverse. I don't like rocking with those VR headsets. It's just me. I'm not really into it. I've been seeing those things. You know, a lot of they're producing it for mainly Generation A and Generation Z. But I tell you this right now, I am not into that metaverse thing. I am not into those VR headsets. I mean, if that's y'all thing, that's cool. But like I said, driving the direction of people in the society into being more engaged with the avatar world, the virtual simulation. You understand? More so than that, than actually going outside and making connections with people is one avenue that I would like to expose to you. But just the fact that this is actually a thing tells you exactly the direction of our society. I mean, hey, I've already seen a lot of these VR games where they're making these perfect games for incels, where I seen an Asian boy, an Asian young man having stimulating sex with an avatar with a I gotta laugh real quick because it was so crazy. An Asian young man having simulating sex with a plastic doll, whatever the hell you call it, just the body, like the buttocks to like the back, and it was plastic. You know what I'm saying? Just it's just crazy, man. Give me your thoughts on what you think in the comment section, y'all. All right, man. Peace.